The pandemic is hard on everyone. I think we can all agree, but in different ways. It is bringing people together.
Yeah, Morgan, and not just during quarantine, but by helping one another during these tough times. We've reported on several stories, and that also includes one sheriff in our area. I spoke with him about his efforts to help someone in need.
I'm probably the most unusual person you'll ever meet.
At 60 years old, Michael Moore has lived a nomadic life, living in various states and taking a new experience with him everywhere he goes.
I've learned how to survive. I've put myself out there so that I can learn.
Today he's in Oxford, all thanks to the help of many hands. But it started with Calhoun County Sheriff Greg Pollan.
Full of life, and he's funny, very talkative. You can also see a hollow look in his eyes sometimes because he's just kind of been beaten down.
He took to Facebook shortly after they met, sharing with his friends and followers the help he and his deputies extended to Michael before placing him in a motel for a night. Sheriff Pollan said it was heavy on his heart, writing, "Until you look a man in the eye and sit with him for an hour, listening to his story, and then see him walk away with his whole worldly possessions in a grocery sack, we don't have any problems."
And then that's where the story has kind of gone viral, so to speak.
Not long after posting, people from around Calhoun County, across Mississippi, and even other states reached out to the sheriff to offer help.
He's good people, he's honest, and he's worth knowing.
Still, Sheriff Pollan told me he became frustrated because he found it to be a task that wasn't easy.
It's kind of like running into a brick wall a lot, head first. I assumed, wrongly so, that we had more resources available for those kind of things in the state, but we don't.
And Alonzo Hilliard agrees.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot more to be done.
Hilliard is the executive director at the LOU Mercy Reentry Ministry, a faith-based agency created to help ex-offenders. After a few days, Sheriff Pollan connected with Hilliard, and they worked together to provide help for Michael.
We tried to give them 6 months to then help them move somewhere else. You know, try to let them build their money up to where they have a deposit and all that, to where they can move on to another location.
So several hands went into helping Michael end up here, but it couldn't have been done without Sheriff Pollan and his deputies. Michael and Alonzo tell me they're grateful for the help, but also for raising awareness.
Thank you for all that you've done to me and for me. You've helped me in a way that I needed it when I needed it.
We tried to grow. We tried to make aware, I guess, make people aware really about what's going on and what they need. And I really appreciate the opportunity.
It's about Michael. It's about his situation, and it's about the bigger picture of homelessness that we don't really think about in rural America, but it is there.
So I really enjoyed doing that story, and hopefully it does raise awareness. If you noticed on his notepad, he had crossed out organizations or places that just didn't work out. And, you know, cities like Tupelo, Starkville, and Oxford, they have places, but in rural areas like Calhoun County, they're very scarce.
Yes, definitely a great way to shine a light on a bigger problem here in our area that might need some attention, and also something great that came out of a social media post.
Right.
So it's good to see good stories out there like that.